Minister Lapid, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. We are now almost a week into the current ceasefire, but Operation Protective Edge is not over. The ceasefire is only the beginning of the next stage of the operation, the diplomatic stage, that must lead to the demilitarization of the Gaza Strip. The only measure is our ability to achieve long-term quiet for the residents of southern Israel. We had major military achievements and have now moved to the diplomatic front. We fought a long and complex operation against a terrorist organization with no regard for human life. We fought an enemy with a value system opposed to our own. We sanctify life and they sanctify death. Hamas wanted to kill our children and was willing to see their own children killed in a sick attempt at propaganda. That is a difficult concept to understand and an even more difficult one to accept. Hamas knows the price that they have paid, and they know the price that they will pay if they start firing again. We destroyed over 30 tunnels, which took Hamas years to build, tunnels which were meant to carry out attacks against Israeli civilians and children. We destroyed rocket launchers, production facilities, and terror infrastructure. We targeted and eliminated hundreds of Hamas and Islamic Jihad terrorists, including senior leaders. Hamas failed to surprise the IDF, which was ready for them on land, air, and sea. On the home front, the Israeli people showed the strength and resilience despite the painful losses, in particular of an innocent 4-year-old boy whose whole life was in front of him. Hamas and all those who threaten us believe that they will break Israeli society and drive us out if they can make life difficult enough. But they don't understand the strength of the Israeli society. They don't understand our commitment to our home. Leadership is measured by an ability to provide hope, set out a vision, and then deliver it. We cannot and will not allow a situation whereby this ceasefire is the beginning of the countdown to the next round of fire. If we don't take the diplomatic initiative, that is this is exactly what will happen. On September the 22nd, the donor countries are scheduled to meet in New York. At that conference, the countries of the world will commit aid to rebuild and rehabilitate Gaza. Israel must act before that to avoid a conference where Gaza gets support and Israel gets nothing. We need a regional conference with the Egyptians, the Saudis, the Gulf states, and of course the representatives of the quartet. That conference should focus on one thing: ensuring the rehabilitation place alongside demilitarization. During the operation, European and American leaders called for the demilitarization of Gaza, and now we need to work with them and with the Arab world to make that a reality. We must return the Palestinian Authority to the border crossings where they legally belong. We must ensure Hamas does not rearm. We must ensure that the framework is put in place for a sustainable and long-term solution. The success of a regional conference can also provide the framework for a wider diplomatic horizon, which will take advantage of the changes in the region to the mutual benefit of Israel and the Arab world. The threat of terror is a common threat to the whole entire Western world. As the Islamic State continues to march through Iraq and Syria, the world understands that we face an ideologically committed to death and destruction. An ideology of brutality towards non-Muslims and towards anyone they see as the wrong type of a Muslim. That is Hamas as well, a group which glorifies the death of children, a group which carries out cold-blooded executions in the street. We watch the Islamic State, and we have no doubt we must hit Hamas hard, so they never had the opportunity to do what the Islamic State is doing in Iraq and Syria. The end of the military stage also brings with it the bill. 50 days of fighting in air and on land and by sea is an expensive matter. The IDF needs to restock, and we will not spare one shekel when it comes to the security of the soldiers and citizens of Israel. Now we must support the communities, also support the communities around the Gaza Strip and throughout the Israeli South. They need to rebuild their lives and rebuild their homes. It is our responsibility to help them, and that is what we are working towards. Despite the financial burden, we will be able to bear most of the cost of the operation within the 2014 budget. Israel's economy is strong and it is robust. Our currency is strong, investments are still strong. We expect a small decrease in growth as a result of the operation, particularly due to the impact on tourism, but experience shows up that the growth will return, and it will return quickly and strongly, as happened after former campaigns. This is also the time to say to the world, come visit Israel. Come and invest in Israel. The most Zionist act the Jewish community around the world can do today is to book a holiday and come spend the holy days here in Israel. Before I take question, I want to end by saying this. Israel is strong. Our military is strong. Our economy is strong. Our society is strong. We paid a heavy price during this operation. Now we have a responsibility to make sure that the benefits for our people, for the people of Israel, are real and long-lasting. Thank you.